Mariano Syndrome, Episode 9, Black Ops.
Chill out, you'll draw attention.
I'm older. Look, it's a tape deck and everything.
Oh my god, we don't even know if Junie or her contacts are here or are waiting for us. How do you know if this will even attract the kind of attention we want?
Don't be such a scully.
Don't be such a lush. No more tequila shots for you.
Don't pretend you aren't also wanting to drown the feeling like shit, knowing our sister is probably an assassin.
I'm not pretending. We can't talk about it in the open right now, okay?
We also don't know that is what that episode was implying for sure.
It's implying cleaning up messes of the blood kind. It's implying that Junie coordinated a hit. It's implying that denial is a river in Egypt.
That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, that was such a crazy episode of that fictional spy thriller that is streaming on somewhere. So, how did your whole family get sucked into X-Files?
Oh! My dad was a huge fan. It was one of those shows he'd get the box sets of when they came out on DVD. It was also one of the few DVDs that survived multiple moves. We'd watch them in car rides, flights, you know.
I mean, not so much me. I think peak X-Files fandom was when I was still pretty young, and the episode scared me.
Oh my god. Remember when we watched the cockroach episode at the cabin in Ontario? You were inconsolable for weeks every time you saw so much as a beetle.
I was 5, and that was a particularly gross episode, and they didn't have great native rep. It was ignorant at best, offensive at worst.
It was the 90s. They also didn't have a whole lot of great rep for black actors. We can't choose the media we consume as kids. We can just learn why it sucked and take away what we liked.
I mean, that's kind of why I didn't really watch it. My dad actually liked it, but I'm still pissed off it kicked off the whole Ancient Aliens bit.
Wait, your dad was an X-Files fan too?
I wouldn't really call him a fan. I remember watching a few reruns with him when I was a kid. He thought the whole Mystic Navajo stuff was hilarious. But that's res humor for you. We really don't get a lot of good rep anywhere, and even if we do, it's just one or two tribes that the white people know the most, like Navajo or Cherokee references. So, gotta poke fun at where we do get it.
I'm sorry, I probably should have asked before. You're from a nation in, California, right? I don't remember the name.
I'm Payamquecham, a registered member of the Pechanga Nation.
Payamquecham. Pechanga, right?
You got it.
Yes! Oh, you grew up in Boston, though. That's how you became besties with Dee Dee.
We'd head west every summer to stay with my relatives, but yeah. My dad was barred in Massachusetts, so we stuck around Boston. He worked on intertribal legal projects with the Wampanoag.
Cool. What was it like in Boston? I mean, I know we were only there a few months, but what keeps you there?
I was thinking about heading back, but, well, I have some things to work on for myself before I commit to my life back in California.
What's stopping you?
The last time I lived out there, it was my whole family. I don't know, just complicated feelings.
Oh, I'm sorry, we shouldn't have brought it up.
It's okay, I brought it up. Besides, I'm sure my sister would have wanted me to experience more of the world before heading back to live on the ancestral homelands. Plus, the internet connection on the res is brutal. I work mostly online, so the city life it is, for now.
I am so done with city life. Give me 5 acres and no internet, I'll be happy. But that's not what the jobs are.
Oh, yeah. Aren't you going to be an orange farmer?
Oh, shit.
What?
I have had an interview at this co-op orchard. I forgot to message them back about my travels. Ugh, man.
You'll be fine. It's the weekend. Text them about your adventures later.
I think he wants us to come outside.
But what if he's cartel?
He looks European, so I don't know.
Maybe he knows something. Let's go.
I really should not have let her order those tequila shots.
You know Judy Carpenter?
Maybe. What's it to you?
I have information you want to know. Where she was last, how she got to Cuba, and what she was doing here in Mexico. But I cannot speak with you here. It is too crowded. We will be safer over there.
Yeah. Maybe following a strange man into a park at night is not a good idea. How do you know Judy Carpenter?
This is confidential. You coming or not?
Lupe?
What? You want me to follow him alone?
Yeah. We really shouldn't let her go alone.
Fucking hell.
So you knew her?
Not well. Like I said, I only met her once.
In Mexico City, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And you never met her here, in Seattle?
No, ma'am.
Right. And I'm sorry. Just to make sure that I'm clear. You moved to Seattle with your former company before it closed its Seattle doors last year.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Wong. Listen. I know you might be concerned about talking to someone like me, but I am simply trying to find a missing person. 2, actually. And you are connected to both.
Agent Whittiker.
I don't think you are involved at all, just to be very clear. You have an alibi, and my trusted colleague has vouched for you. I just want to make sure I'm on the right track here. So, if you will, can you please tell me, did you see this woman here in Seattle last year?
I didn't think much of it. I did not think it was relevant. I was simply surprised since I did recognize her from Mexico. This was the night after the disappearance. And then, I had just seen her the night I last saw Mr. Uzmanov.
Go on.
She was at the bar. At least I think it was her. She didn't seem to recognize me. I was only there at the door when our CFO was finishing the negotiations. I was supposed to pick him up to take him home. I didn't stay long. I just assumed she was affiliated with Uzmanov.
But then you saw her again, after the disappearance.
Only once more, the next night. I was on my way from the office. It was late. It was near here. I saw her speaking with someone. I don't know who.
Do you remember where they were?
You can see it. It is open late. Over there.
Oh. Yeah, I know that place. Thank you for that. Thank you so much for your time and for your help. This truly is really helpful. And I don't want to keep you out in the snow any longer. I'll send your regards to Alvin as well.
No need. We have a game of Jiao Pengyo planned next week.
Right. Thank you again, and stay warm.
You too, Agent Whittiker.
At least the next thread is across the street. Here's hoping it's inside.
Oh, yeah, this is super chill. Walking into a deserted park with a menacing stranger. Great idea, Lupe.
I can take care of myself. Don't you worry about that.
What is that supposed to mean?
So, where exactly are you leading us?
A secure location. My colleagues are waiting on the other side of the street, across this park. This is important information we cannot share in public place.
Can you at least tell us the kind of information it is? Do you know where Judy is?
Did Judy Carpenter give you the feed code?
What feed code?
Judy is the person who sent us. It includes crucial information to help your sister. I can bring you to her.
How do you know she's our sister?
Not my sister.
Oh, interesting. So, the feed code, please. Your sister is in danger.
What kind of danger?
So you do have it. It will be much easier if you simply share it with us.
We haven't confirmed anything. Guys, stop. I don't think he actually knows anything about Junie.
She wants to see you. If you come with us, you will see her.
Lupe D's right. We can't. It's not safe.
What kind of trouble is she in? What happened in Seattle?
So you know about that, eh? Well, let's just say she is cooperating with us now. Come, little miss. We must hurry. Our ride is just on the other side.
Don't touch me!
We are being followed. I must insist.
What the hell, dude?
Let me go.
I encourage you all to calm down, yes, or else I will have to keep my little friend in hand.
Oh. Fuck.
Are we on the same page now? Good. Walk forward, please. I hold on to this one, like my girlfriend. See? Nice and calm.
This is not fucking necessary. Put the gun down. Let her go.
What did I say? Calm down.
Just do as he says, guys. Remember what I told you.
Wait, I really don't think this is that simple.
Move, please. I said move. Hey, what are you doing? Put those away.
I told you not to fucking touch me!
Holy shit! Ow! Ow! What a sleeper throw! Were those crochet needles? You stabbed him in the eye with crochet needles! Damn, Grandma Batty over here!
Don't just stand there! Grab it!
It's loaded. I've never shot a gun.
Guys, leave the gun. We need to go. Now. Run! Where the hell should we go? We can't hide in the taco place or our hotel.
Damn it.
So, that was really stupid. Thankfully, I managed to keep quite a few people off your tail. For now. Get in.
Who the hell are you?
And do you even know who we are?
You can call me Mariano. Your father never mentioned me.
Nope, not ringing a bell.
Good. At least he kept that promise. We're familiar with each other. We've also worked together in the past.
Military?
He told me to keep an eye on you two, but he didn't mention your third. I don't believe he was aware of Natalie Johnson's involvement. I had hoped you'd be more careful of your digital footprint. Your father taught you that the U.S. government doesn't extend privacy law when you cross borders, didn't he? Not the point, though. Come in. We can talk more on our way.
With you? We barely know you. How can we trust that you're not, kidnapping us for ransom?
Dimitri, D. 10 years ago, you picked up the phone from your abuelo's house. It was a call from a corrections facility in Miami. You freaked out and hung up. That was me.
And this is supposed to be reassuring how?
Because Dad yelled at me after missing that call. He was nearly in tears. Dad was so upset. He never told me why, just that it was somebody I needed to talk to. Who are you?
15 seconds. Incoming.
Another time.
Screw it.
D! Okay, fine. You better not be kidnapping us.
You, Menendez. Well, in for a penny.
So, are you kidnapping us?
No. But I'll admit that was a pretty naive call. It's a good thing your dad called me. You three are like lambs to the slaughter.
How did you know
I
about...
do my research. Turn off your phones. Hey, I'm serious. The CIA doesn't need a warrant to track you overseas. Listen, I don't have time to catch you up entirely, but you found something on Juniper, right? Well, I have it on good authority that it wasn't planted by Junie herself.
Whose authority?
Mine. Like I said, I do my research. You don't have to believe me. I'm just here to tell you to be careful about whatever it is you do based on the information you just received.
Listen, Mariano. We're taking you at your word that you were here because their dad asked you to keep an eye on them, right? You have some kind of skills at espionage? Why reveal your identity then? Couldn't you have stayed like a distance away? Watch from afar?
I'm concerned that you might be being led into something that you are not prepared for. I mean, you did almost get picked up by the Russians.
I mean, we kind of expected that. But we're just trying to pick up Junie's clues for us.
I know you want to find your sister, but there are other players in this game that you don't see. Your hotel is currently being bugged. You can't talk about what it is you found out in the open. You're being followed, and even with my help, you can't shake that tail for long. Why the hell did your sister bring you into this?
Who is our tail? The Russians?
Speaking of, everyone buckle up, please.
I don't know why the Russians are after you. The one I was following was an American. He was at the taqueria. You didn't see him? He was alone, a few tables away from you, smoking a cigarette. I'm guessing he's just a company grunt.
Jesus Christ! Great! A car chase through Mexico City. Could we get any more cliche?
A cigarette, you say?
Don't start on that.
Even if he's a low-level operative, you need to be careful. Operations officers have access to plenty of disguises, and they have access to as many contacts as I do.
You said that the thing we picked up at the cafe was not planted by Junie, but it's very clear that the material was from Junie.
Yeah, and Junie wanted us to be in Mexico City. She gave us plane tickets.
I wouldn't be so sure. But alright, say that this item was planted by Junie. Where is it pointing you?
More importantly, where are you taking us? Or are we going to drive into the desert to dump our bodies?
Don't be dramatic. We're going to the airport.
Why the airport? We haven't even decided where we're going.
I have. I'm taking you through security and escorting you all home.
What? No, we haven't found Junie yet.
Whoa! Okay, what the hell?
It's fine. They don't know these streets like I do. See? Lost them.
This isn't a game for civilians. Don't you have lives back at home that are being disrupted for a wild goose chase? Okay. If you know so much about your plan, what is it? Any ideas? Where's Junie? What did you find out?
What do you really know about all this? What aren't you telling us? Did our dad get you to help us, or to convince us to stop our search?
I see stubbornness is a family trait. Fine. Your father implied that you all were having direct contact with Juniper somehow. He wanted me to facilitate your movements in whatever way I could because he is being surveilled to a greater intensity than you are. But I see that's unwise. Listen. We all want to find Juniper safe and sound. Now, it's clear that you all don't know what the hell you're doing. And that's not helping me to help you. I don't trust the item you acquired at the Quentin Cafe because your tail was scoping out the cafe well ahead of time. The Russians have also been watching for God knows how long. Therefore, we need to get you all safely back home. All clear?
None of this has been clear.
Well, if you're going to play at Spycraft, you're going to have to get used to that.
Okay, guys, I think we need to stop grandstanding and just tell him.
Are you sure?
He's right. We aren't spies. We are trying to hoard information, and that's not what's going to help us. Juniper left the CIA. She did so in a very public way. Nothing that she said or done indicates she wants us to act like her. In fact, it seems like she's doing the opposite. She's pointing us to the truth, not to more lies. That's what Junie is looking for. The truth. Whatever it is. And, well, I think, Mariano, you are of that world too. Maybe this isn't the skill set we're supposed to deploy. If we're going to find Juniper, we need to trust each other. Dad trusts him, and I think that's enough.
That's quite the assumption.
I hope it's the right one. You better be actually on our side. Fine, Dee. Go ahead.
We came here under the assumption that Juniper wanted us to find a podcast feed that details her communications with someone. An asset, or whatever. We don't know who they are. My gut tells me that she wants us to find this asset. We know that Junie worked with this person in Seattle and then was supposed to meet up with them in Germany, but they didn't show. That's when Junie was stationed in Cambodia, and then she headed to Cuba, where she disappeared.
We think it has something to do with Juniper's work on Chinese interests in Latin America. My gut says that there's probably some kind of trail in Seattle because that's where they first met. And Dee thinks we need to go to the club in Germany because that's where they were supposed to meet. And Lupe thinks we should go to Cuba. You can see, then, our dilemma.
Wow. That certainly is a dilemma. It's a podcast feed?
Yeah, a bunch of short audio clips. Mostly coded language with her pretending to be some kind of travel blogger. Vlogger? Podcaster? Whatever.
That changes things.
Like what?
Well, I was worried it was some kind of falsifiable information. Like a letter or something easy to forge and pretend it's from Juniper. But if it is audio, and it is your sister speaking and not some AI, I don't see why they would go to such lengths to falsify audio. The company may be devious in some ways, but at the end of the day, they're more of a hammer than a scalpel they like to think of themselves as.
They recruit too many former military.
Precisely my point.
Wait. You sound familiar. Have we met?
Oh, how about this? Lupe, 3 lattes.
No way!
So you've been keeping tabs on us this whole time?
Yeah, Mariano called in a favor. Barista's just my day job.
I'm sorry, what's your name?
Call me Freddie. Nice to meet you again, Natalie.
You seem in a better mood now.
Oh, it's the stoic armored SUV driver in me.
You also seem to know Mariano pretty well. And the family.
I suppose we're all going against type? Yes. Mariano and I go a ways back. If you don't mind me adding my 2 cents into this already thrilling family drama, I think you're right. You want to find someone? You go back to the beginning. You've covered Mexico City. Seattle's your best bet, if that's where Juniper first recruited her asset.
Cuba is where this all started, though.
Ah, but you didn't know about the asset. Juniper brought them to her first duty station. She probably wants them to find her first asset.
So smart. See, this is why you're my getaway driver.
What did you say you do again? Heists?
Kidnapping. Kidding. Well, what do you think, Scooby Gang? Cuba or Seattle?
My vote is Cuba. We're looking for Junie, not her spy.
She has a point. Plus, maybe we can have Mark hop over to Seattle to check out leads there. Cover both bases.
Natalie, would you like to change your vote?
It's their sister. I'm just along for the ride.
All right. Cuba it is. What do you mean it's all over the news? Okay. Which one of you squealed?
The message included what was considered a recorded voice confession by Juniper Menendez regarding her association with the CIA. The podcast feed itself generated a flurry of speculative comments on the forum before it was locked by channel moderators.
Okay, people, I know many of you are speculating that it is a hoax, especially in light of the hush-hush approach to giving out funding for spies and diplomats affected by Havana syndrome, but the Central Intelligence Agency could not be reached for comment according to the Associated Press. But here's an interesting little tidbit that might tip the scales to this being the real deal. In the Washington Post, an anonymous source in one of the federal intelligence agencies did confirm that Juniper Menendez is currently missing. This source did not confirm whether or not Menendez is an intelligence officer or whether or not her disappearance has been linked to the aforementioned Havana syndrome. Is this a Jason Bourne scenario? A CIA experiment gone wrong? A disgruntled employee? A double agent for the Russians?
The government of Cuba
Let me
has
know
yet to
what you
release
think
a response
in the
regarding
comments.
The message included what was considered a recorded voice confession by Juniper Menendez regarding her
古巴政府尚未就 Juniper Menendez 又名 Judy Cockcraft 的所谓下落发表回应。 We will update this story when we receive more information. This is 新华 News reporting from Havana, Cuba. 我们收到更多新奇后，将更新奇报道。这是新华社发自 Cuba Havana 的报道。
Dimitri Menendez is played by Ralph Ruiz. Guadalupe Menendez is played by Adriene Arce. Natalie Johnson is played by Natalie Campos. Special Agent Celia Whittiker is played by Whitney Johnson. Huazhi Wong was played by Clayton Tam. The Russian is played by Christiaan Voldstaad. Mariano is played by Giancarlo Herrera. Freddie is played by Jose Longino. The American reporter is played by Nick Pugliese. The British reporter is played by Max Cockcraft. The Mandarin news people are played by Alexandria Norris and Belinda To.
Some Guy 137 is played by Bjorn Munson.
Havana Syndrome is written and produced by Lisette Alvarez. This is a Stormfire Productions podcast. Thank you for listening.